Hey everybody, it's Strict9 with Strict9 GP, and welcome to another episode of my Out of the Park Baseball 19 GM Challenge with the Reds. We're mid-September, getting ready to end another season out. We are 143 games in. We are one game over 500. Our goal was to reach the playoffs this year from the owner. We may not make it. We've had a really tough time of it. If you look at the standings, how we're doing, we're still just a half game back on the wild card. It's been a pretty jumbled up race there for that wild card. Nobody's really kind of running away with it, but Chicago has pretty much ran away with the division. They're going to win the National League Central easily with round 20 to play. They are already, the magic number's down to 4. Got the Braves in the similar situation. Looks like they're running away with the National League East. And then the Dodgers running away with the West. I mean, they're 10.5 games up. Magic numbers down to 9. And the American League, you got Toronto playing really strong. They may do it this year. They've won 8 of 10. Might be Tellez playing a big part of that. He's up to 51 home runs right now in a big battle with Stanton for the home run league. And Boston looking pretty sharp. They're probably going to have a good chance of making the wild card, but then you've got Tampa Bay not too far behind. In the Central, Cleveland kind of running away with it, one of the 8 of 10, 6 in a row. And then Houston, not really running away with it, but they're 5 games up, so they've got a pretty comfortable lead with 19 to play. Individually, I don't know if there's anything too unexpected. I forgot Guerrero Jr. He's another reason Toronto's so strong. I am still in this playthrough. Stanton is starting to impress me a little bit with his home run totals. You can see since 2017, well above 50 each year, led the league every year, and on pace to do it again this year. But I've simmed the 18 season. So starting with the 18th season, these are what he's done in this game. So that's 53, 54, 58, 52. He's 31, almost 32 years old. He's already up to 484 home runs. He's going to hit 500 pretty soon. I don't know where he'll end up. I mean, we're talking really good chance at 600 plus. I'd say an outside chance at challenging for that all-time lead. If he keeps that pace up for maybe 2-3 more years, I think he'll probably at least get to 600 plus. In the National League, I think Taylor Trammell has been a really big surprise for me. Second stolen bases, but he's having an all-around good year, and he might. We've had, in this playthrough already, we've had 2 National League Rookies of the Year. He's going to get a lot of votes, I think, and might even win it. He was Player of the Month, or Batter of the Month for, I think it was August. Let me see if it should show me. Should show me there. So August. So doing a really good job. I'm hoping that he has a good year. But for some reason, he never shows up on those rookie numbers when they talk about like top rookies. He won Batter of the Month, but didn't win Rookie of the Month. So I'm kind of wondering if there's a glitch in maybe the way he's calculated here, because he's definitely in his rookie season, but maybe the game's not counting it as his rookie season. I think that would be the only way he wouldn't have a good chance at winning that Rookie of the Year, if there's some kind of glitch going on. But taking a look at the team, I'll look at the team stats first. We've played at or above 500 every month going into September this season. It's just September we're on a big slide, 4 and 7. We're middle of the pack. I talked about that last time. Our balance seems to be pretty good, but we've lost pace with the bullpen ERA, runs allowed, home runs allowed, losing ground on a few of these offensive categories. Looking at the disabled list right now, some big ones on there. Alcantara, Castillo, those guys went down. Castillo's having an off year in some respects from what he had last year, but he was still on pace for 15 or 16 wins when he went down. And then, of course, that big Shedrick Long injury and Almora, they've really kept us scrambling on the lineup. Scooter Gennett has come in and played really poorly for me, and it looks like he's got a minimal injury going on right now. I picked up Estrada from New York in a trade, and he's done okay, but he's he's not good enough, I don't think, to start. But Alcantara too, I forgot to mention him. I don't know when he's going to come back. He was having probably my best season numbers wise when it comes to pitching. ERA below 3, good whip, good wins above replacement, developing pretty nicely. So I hope that he can come back here within a week or so. It's it's an unknown injury type. We don't know how much time he's going to have left before he can come back. So now I'm scrambling in that rotation. I put Santillan, who was a guy from Double A. I called him up just to hope that he could get me through. And then I even called up Drake Fellows from Triple A. It's not so much that I was giving up on this season. We're still just a game back in the wild card. I just didn't have too many options, and it would be nice to see him get some quality time in the majors. And he's unhappy here for a couple reasons: performance and team record. Unhappy with the role on the team, but that doesn't make sense. He's in the starting rotation. Lineups, let me see what we got going on here. So Barnhart won the catching job back from Feliciano. Feliciano just really struggled. I needed him to be good offensively, and he just didn't really do it. Gurriel has lost his first base spot because I called up Eric Ramirez from the minors, a guy who's kind of a low round pick for me, 32nd round pick for me several years ago. And he's developed nicely and keeps playing at every stop he's been at, plays really well in the system. So I called him up, and Girardi immediately put him in that starting lineup against, he's going against righties and lefties. And Senzel, an okay year, home run power is really down. Simmons is back healthy, finally. Gibson, 33 home runs. Trammell having a great year. And Winker looking really good, too. 280 plus ERA, or average. His average is down from where it was, but he's showing power and production really, really good. So would this be enough to catch some of those other teams in the wild card spot? I don't know. But I will say, when I look at the pennant chase, some things are pretty favorable for us. Looking at remaining schedule, for instance, the Mets, who are in the wild card hunt, schedule is .508 for them, so a winning percentage is they're playing a schedule that has a winning record for the most part. Milwaukee, 9 home, 9 away. But their winning percentage is .495. For the Reds, we're 13 home, 6 away, and a remaining schedule record of .477. So I think that's pretty good, and I hope that's enough to maybe let us squeak by. And that's what we're going to do this episode. We're going to play out the season, play it a game at a time, and until we either get eliminated or we'll see what happens. But let's go ahead and get started. We're starting a big series with Milwaukee at home, 3 games. I think this would come a long way towards, of course, they're just a half game above us right now in the race. So, excuse me, got a frog in my throat. If we win two of 3 here, that would put us, I guess, right on a half game above them. So first game, we lose 8-9. And Castillo suffers a setback. He's not going to be ready for at least another week. Let's see how we lost this game, though. At home, Ramirez had a good game, 4 for 5, 3 RBIs. Simmons, a good game. Fellows, his second start, not as sharp, 4 innings, 4 earned runs. Herget not looking too good either. Now, the second game, we need this one. And we lose it 1-3, so we've dropped 2.5 games behind him now. Hunter Green played first base in this game. Puck didn't pitch too badly. Six innings, just one walk, 9 strikeouts. Bullpen looked good, but things are kind of falling apart here. Chicago, they've clinched a spot in the postseason, and we finally squeak out a win, a 1-0 shutout. Winker 2 for 4, good game for him. Gurriel looks like he had a home run in this game, the only run that we scored. Tyler Mahle pitched well, but it was Green getting the win. That home run must have come late. So looking at the news now, we've got Bichette, 20-game hitting streak. Another Toronto Blue Jay that I forgot about. He's a young guy, 23. He's starting to settle in to a starter role, having a good year there. And the Cubs have now clinched the Central Division. And let's see. Nolan Arenado gets his 300th. So now we're at Pittsburgh, or home against Pittsburgh. We are 1.5 games back. Pittsburgh having a tough year, but they're on a pretty good streak here. They've won 7 of 10. So let's see if we can at least win the series in the first game, 11-0. I think the wheels are falling off, and I think it's going to be over for us. Weaver, pitiful game, 9 runs in 4 innings. I think maybe those injuries are just starting to mount up for us. Second game we win barely, 6-5 in extra innings. That gets us back to 500 and back within a half game of Milwaukee. Cam Gibson, 35 home runs for him now. Santillan, not a bad outing. Peralta picked up the win in relief. And third game against Pittsburgh, we lose 4-1. And Sandy Alcantara is ready to go, so I'm calling him up immediately. He's not going to get any rehab time because of where we're at in the season. Fellows, another poor outing, but he's probably not going to be in that rotation now that I've got him back. Yeah, well, now he's going to be in the 5th spot. So they took Santillan out. So looking at the news, Rangers are out of the playoffs. Austin Hayes was the American League Player of the Week, and Arturo Corona for the Giants, he was the Player of the Week in the National League, and Clayton Kershaw injured for 9 months. That's going to be tough for him, but he picked up his 200th career win before this season stopped. And let's see, any other big news here? Weekly power rankings were pretty low at 17. So Dodgers looks like they won the West, and we are half game back. Boy, that wild card is really, really tightening up. The Braves close to clinching, and then nobody's clinched in the American League yet, but it looks like those races are going to be pretty much the same, except in the East. Tampa Bay, New York, Boston, all within 4.5 games of Toronto. So first game of the week now against Colorado away. I hate playing them away because of that ballpark. First game, big win. Andrelton Simmons out with food poisoning for 3 days. Looks like Barnhart's got a minimal injury. Gurriel, minimal injury. But at this point in the season, they're going to have to play through it. So in this game, may have had several home runs, looks like, from Senzel, Gibson, Feliciano, Gurriel, Estrada, Hunter Green. What is that, 6 home runs? Yep, 6 home runs in the game. Wow. Let's see if anybody thinks. Gibson's average is slipping, 249. Same with Senzel. He's down to 277. Braves are in the playoffs, and St. Louis is out. So next game against Colorado, another big win, 11-3. And Castillo is ready to go. And I'm sure he's going to be putting that rotation that will knock Fellows out. So Fellows is not ready to go right now. And Shohei Ohtani pitches a shutout. So 11-3. Trammell, pretty decent game. Senzel 2 for 6. Ramirez still hitting really well. He might be in the mix for a future first base role. Alcantara didn't pitch enough to get the win there, but bullpen looks solid. So we've moved ahead of Milwaukee now. So Milwaukee had a tough week. Last game of the series against Colorado. Sweep would be nice, and we do 9-8 in 11 innings. Detroit out of the playoffs, Oakland out of the playoffs. So let's see how we won this one. Trammell 2 for 6, scored a run. Ramirez, another good game from this guy. 3 for 5, drove in 2. And then pitching wise, they went with Castillo, and he was rocked. Six earned runs in 3 innings. Green blew the save. Peralta won it though in extra innings. So that's putting us back probably in a pretty decent spot for the wild card. Let me take a look at that. Atlanta clinches the East. Cleveland clinches the American League Central. And we are right now a half game above San Diego for that last wild card spot. And we're playing Kansas City, who's eliminated. 3 games on the road. So let's see if we can keep our winning going here. First game, 5-1, good win for us. Estrada 3 for 4 in this game. Weaver got his 6th win, pretty solid. And then any news? San Francisco out of the playoffs. Second game against Kansas City, another win, 6-4. So we are 4 games above 500. Trammell was 2 for 4. Mangum getting some play time, 3 for 5. Ramirez, another strong game from him, 2 for 5. Puck got the win, 7 1/3, just 4 earned runs. Green is 31st save. I'm wondering, I haven't seen Winker in a while. I wonder if he's getting just getting some time off. So last game against Kansas City. Can we go for the sweep? We lost 5-6 in 12 innings. And now Players of the Week, Stanton up to 58 home runs. Player of the Week in the American League. National League went to Brendan Rodgers. And power rankings, we moved up to 9th. Take a look at this game first. Winker 4 for 6, so he's back in the lineup for this one. Simmons 3 for 6. Friedel 3 RBIs in the game. Molly didn't look terrible, but blew it in the bullpen. Ohanian just not looking good since I brought him up. But we got a 4-game series coming up with the Cardinals at home. We're 1.5 games now up over the Padres, just a game back of the Mets. So hopefully we're getting hot at the right time. Looks like Milwaukee is really stumbled, lost 9 of 10. So let's play the first game. We're in that last week. I mean, we got 7 games left. First game with St. Louis, 10-8, and that puts us keeps us a game and a half up against San Diego. Mangum played again for I'm not sure why. Let me look at the lineup again. I'm not sure why he's keeping Winker out of the lineup so much, but regardless, 10-8. Gibson 4 for 5, good game from him. Gurriel, good game. Simmons 3 for 4, scored 3 runs. Hunter Green didn't look too good in relief, but bullpen kept us in it, and we wound up winning it. So Charlie Blackmon out for 5 months for the rest of the season. Pirates out of the playoffs. So this will be this win. If we win, will assure us of finishing at 500. We win 2-1 in 12. Houston secures the wild card spot. Man, and I'm looking ahead here. We finish out against Chicago. Not good. We really need to sweep these Cardinals. So then this game, Trammell, good game. Senzel 2 for 5. Pitching Castillo, solid game here, and then Green picked up the win in relief. The relief bullpen's starting to look a lot better since we've gotten further along in this. Maybe not showing up in the overall stats, but they're looking a little bit better since we've gotten further along. So we got 5 games left. We are 2.5 up over the Padres. Magic number's down to 3. Cubs already at 100 wins. And we win 7-1. Magic number down to 1. So this would be really almost miraculous that we would come back and finish strong enough to make the playoffs. Trammell, good game here. Gibson reached 100 RBIs for the year in this game. Simmons playing really good. Weaver, 7 strong innings, just 1 run. So we are down to the point of 1 more win, and I think we're in. We lose. So a close one, 2-3. Ramirez may have hit another home run in the game. Puck didn't look too bad, 7 innings, just 3 runs. But now, standings wise, we are 3 games up over San Diego. So it's going to come down, but we're tied with the Mets. So it's going to come down to this Chicago series. And man, I hate to see it do that. Let me go ahead and look at the news. And I'm going to go ahead and do this. I know we're kind of stopping momentum, but I want to see if there's anything major here to look for. It looks like Weaver's losing some in the player development update. He's lost some ratings there. Santillan looking really good. This guy's probably going to be in the mix, at least for a bullpen role next year. AJ Puck, his movement rating went up. Individual ratings are still good for him. It's just his overall and potential are low. Peralta losing it. Might be time to look at trading him away. Ohanian picked up some ratings. Fellows picked up some ratings enough that I think he's going to be in the mix for that starting rotation in the spring. And then Cishek, who's probably going to be gone after this year. Ramirez picked up some ratings. I think he's got a chance at first base for us next year. Shedrick Long, I really hope he comes back good from this injury. Taylor Trammell, defensive rating drops, but his overall rating improves. We got some minors here. Zach Weiss, not doing too great. Scott Moss. A lot of guys losing some ground. Chris Chatfield, Stuart Fairchild. Those are a couple outfielders that might have an outside chance of making the majors. Here's a big pick. Wano Valley was my first-round pick in 2020. He's a 3.5-star potential pitcher right now from My Scout and OSA. He's probably going to be ready for a call-up after this year. And then we've got Doug Norman. Some other names here I'm not recognizing too much. Jake Turnbull, though. I think he was just a minor league sign. I don't know how I got that one. So not too great on the development update there, though. But looking at the winners of the month, Matt Olson was the American League Player of the Month. He's up to 50 home runs. Freddie Freeman in the National League. Jose Quintana up to 18 wins. He was another reason Toronto's doing well. He's Pitcher of the Month in the American League. Thomas Hatch in the National League. Rookies of the Month, Daz Cameron and Will Holland. So here we go. One more win or one San Diego loss, and we're in the playoffs. And ending up against the Cubs. First game, we're in 4-1. So Mets are in, Reds are in. Trammell 3 for 4 in this game to get his average back above 300. Friedel looks like he may have gotten a home run. Molly, a very good game. 6 innings, just 1 run. Green is 32nd save. So still tied with New York. So now the question is, are we going to be strong enough against Chicago to win that home field advantage in the first playoff game? So here we go. Game 2. Lose 5-6. The Mets won. And Simmons was 2 for 4. But Alcantara, not too bad. Santillan gave up a couple runs there that were crucial. Steven Strasburg's out. Trout, Mike Trout is out. He had 52 home runs this year. And looks like we got this is the International League Best Pitcher of the award. Looks like we had a guy getting some votes, Jacob Heatherly. Individual ratings don't look too bad. He's probably just not gonna make the majors though. So last game, this is to at least get us to 84 wins, and we lose it 2-4. Estrada was suspended for 4 games. I'm not sure if he's going to be in the mix for the playoffs, but we'll see. So last game, Trammell, his average slipped down to below 300. Senzel was pretty good in the game, though, 2 for 4. Ramirez, in that September call-up, he looked pretty good. I gotta be honest. 6 home runs, 18 RBIs, 292 batting average. Castillo looked pretty good in the game, but couldn't hold out for the win. So now we're looking at the standings, and let's just go ahead and go through. Oh man, look at this. We've got a tied situation in the American League East with Boston and Toronto. Looks like Toronto just really stumbled at the end. Tampa Bay almost made it. They were just a game back. Cleveland easily won the Central. Houston pretty easily won the West. So now it's going to be it's going to have to a 1-game playoff, maybe a 2-game playoff here, because you've got Tampa Bay, Los Angeles, Toronto, Boston. Who's going to win that division? Who's going to make the playoffs? Looking at the individual numbers, Vladimir Guerrero was first in batting average. This guy's going to be a beast in this playthrough. Stanton, 61 home runs. That's a career high for him. He's now up to 493 for his career. He led the league again. That's 5 straight years of doing that. Mike Trout had a great game, 52 home runs, or great year, 123 RBIs, 8.2 wins above replacement. This guy's putting up some good numbers. Billy Hamilton finished off the year leading the league in stolen bases, and really what a good year for Hamilton. He gives you what he gives you, which is great defense, great speed. When he gets on base, he's going to be a threat to score. So he scored 95 runs, 181 hits, 59 steals, 271 average is really pretty good for him. But the big thing was strikeouts to walks, pretty low. That's what you can expect from him. But glad to see he's still there and having a good year. And then pitching, Jose Quintana, 19 wins to lead the league. Faria, 239 strikeouts. Coda Glover, 45 saves. And now batting, or in the National League, we got the Braves just running away with that National League East. But Mets are going to make the wild card and host that wild card game against us. Chicago, the best record in baseball, 103 wins, easily won the Central. Dodgers easily won the West. And then individually, Cody Bellinger led the league in home runs and RBIs. He's won the MVP twice in this playthrough, 2020 and 2018. That might be enough to get him there again, honestly. We'll have to see. Bryce Harper had a good year too. 8.6 wins above replacement. All the other numbers were pretty good for him too. Taylor Trammell had the longest hitting streak in the league, with second stolen bases. So we got Acuna leading the league in batting at 324. And pitching, you had Kershaw second in ERA, 16 wins, led the league. Syndergaard just 201 strikeouts to lead the league. And then Minter led the league with 36 saves. Kind of some low numbers there in those categories. I'm curious, while we're looking, I'm curious how Plyler's hanging in there. And I don't even see him in the rotation. Is he injured? Let me do a search for him. I didn't. I guess I don't know how he's. Now he's listed. That's weird. Well, I'll keep hitting transactions. Let me see. So the Cardinals. I'm not sure what happened to him. Oh my gosh, I know what's happening. Oh, the wrong playthrough. This is what happens when you have two leagues going at the same time. Sorry about that. I was thinking about the Plyler from my Phillies playthrough. Sorry about that. I've been trying to keep tabs on him, see what kind of career he has. So that pretty much got us sidetracked. But that's how the National League shapes up. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and finish today and see who's going to make the playoffs finally. International League player, do we have anybody getting votes? Eric Ramirez, who got some votes there. So Boston, they're going to win the East, is that right? No, they just they're going to be in the playoffs. But let me see what the day brings. So it's going to be Boston winning the division. Came out of nowhere and beat Toronto. So now what's going to happen here? So if they're going to be in the East, let me look at the playoff picture. So now we're going to have to set our rosters. So the Tampa Bay Rays are in the playoffs. So that East has 3 teams in the playoffs from the American League East. Those 3 teams finished really strong. So the Angels knocked out. Wound up losing 4 in a row. That's what did it for them. So now here's how it's going to look to start it off with the wild cards. It's going to be Tampa Bay on the road against Toronto, and then we're going to be on the road against the Mets. And the Mets pretty much owned us this year, 5-1. You look at some of these players here. Thomas Nido had a good year. Dominic Smith looked really good against us. Kane, who I guess they picked up from Milwaukee, he's looked good. Todd Frazier, 3 home runs, 7 RBIs, 333 batting average. That's a surprise. And then pitching-wise, they've got Clayton Kershaw is out, but you know how this Mets team is right now. They got Syndergaard. They got Wheeler even, you know, if they had to. Well, now he's in a minimal injury. They picked up Trevor Bauer. And Syndergaard, and then I'm kind of wondering who they're going to go in this game. It looks like, yeah, they're going with DeGrom. So we're going to have our work cut out with it for us. We got Weaver against DeGrom. Looking at our side, Gibson had a good season against the Mets. Winker had a pretty good season, and that's about it. Taylor Trammell wasn't too bad. The production wasn't there, though. So we're going to have just a perfect game to have a chance at winning this one. And I don't even see that. Doesn't even look like Weaver played against the Mets this year. So he's going to be untested. But that's going to be what the next episode brings. Will be playing out the game in 3D against the Mets. I'm really surprised that we made the playoffs, but we have made the playoffs now. Let me get back to my Reds. We've made the playoffs now in the 4 seasons that I've been doing this. We have made the playoffs 3 times. So pretty much a big surprise all the way around. Won the division outright in 2020. We got a work cut out for us, but it would be nice to get through into that second round of the playoffs and see how far we can go. But thanks for watching. I appreciate it. The subscribers, the likes, and your comments. And I'll see you next episode, which will be playing out against the Mets. Thanks for watching.